Before you sign that NIL deal, ask these 3 questions because essentially your future is going to depend on them. Let's get into it. I am entertainment and NIL attorney Stephanie Hay, and let's talk about the top 3 questions that you're going to want to ask before you sign your next NIL agreement. First, you want to know what right are you giving away and for how long are you giving that right away? Is the length going to be forever? Is it for 6 months? Is it for a year? How long are you essentially giving them these rights for them to utilize them, whether that's the use of your voice in a commercial, if that is the use of your picture in a, social media campaign? How long is that going to last? Because that's going to be important. Next, can you work with other brands? And this is not just limited to similar brands because that's important. Can I work with other similar brands? Or am I limited and I can't work with other brands, making this an exclusive deal? And then on the other side of that, also, am I able to still work with other brands that may not be doing the same or similar things that you all are doing? Okay. So, who can you work with, or are you locked into only working with them exclusively for a certain period of time? Now, of course, they're getting exclusive rights where you can't work with any other brand. You can't sign any other brand deals. That is going to come at a higher cost than if you are allowed to enter a brand deal with them. Let's hypothetically say for I don't know, making of clothing, but then you're also able to enter into a brand deal with a sports equipment company and work with them to create equipment that you're promoting. Okay. And finally, what happens to this deal if I transfer or I stop playing my particular sport? Imperative, because you don't want your contract dependent upon you playing at a particular school, or the fact that, let's say you get hurt and now you're not playing but you're still able to promote the brand, but you can't necessarily play on the field or what have you. That is a question you want to know the answer to, because by not knowing the answer, you could find yourself in a situation where they are saying, and it's in your contract, but somehow we missed it, that your contract is contingent upon you staying at a particular school, playing at a particular time, maybe playing a certain number of games, whatever the case may be. So that is a question that's going to be imperative for you to ask up front. Bonus question: is your contract tied to your performance, so hitting a certain number of stats, or is your contract tied to a certain number of social media postings, things of that nature? Because performance and posting, those are important to brands, so you want to know how important it is to the brand so that your contract may not be determined by it, or at least you know it is, so you know, okay, I have to post a certain amount, or I need to hit certain performance marks. It's always good when, if you meet these certain performance marks, you get a bonus, but what if that does not happen? And so you want to take those things into consideration, but you also want to ask that question so you can get a direct answer from the brand. By asking these questions, you get a full picture of what the partnership could potentially look like, and it helps you avoid any future traps, because oftentimes we're verbal people, right? So we want to hear it and not just read it. So you want to hear what they're also saying, but also then we want to take those things and incorporate them into the agreement. It is important that you sign because you understand the deal, not just because you are excited. Again, two things can be true, and I want them to be true for you. I want you to be excited, but I also want you to understand the deal that you're signing. Okay. So use the link in my bio to sign up for a free 10-minute consultation, or shoot me over a DM. Let me get ready to ink your deal for you. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, because as always, we are building community and everybody wants to know what you're asking, because somebody, of course, also has that same question. So I'll be pulling questions from the comments, and I want to answer your question for you and everybody else. Okay. Until next time. Bye.